Ladies and gentlemen, there will always be people who doubt you, question you, laugh at your dreams, and whisper behind your back. Some will tell you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. And in that moment, you'll feel the temptation to fight back with your words, to argue, to shout louder than their doubt. But hear me clearly, you don't have to be loud to prove them wrong. You just have to be consistent. The world doesn't believe what you say, the world believes what you do. You can stand on a rooftop and scream your dreams all day, but if your actions don't align, those words will fall flat. Consistency, my friends, is the ultimate proof. When you show up day after day, quietly working, quietly building, quietly improving, you become undeniable. Noise fades. People forget what you said, but they can't ignore what you've done. That's why the champions of this world aren't always the loudest. They are the ones who mastered the art of showing up again and again, even when nobody was watching, even when the applause was silent, even when the doubters seemed louder than their own belief. Consistency is the weapon of the unstoppable. It's not glamorous, it's not flashy. Sometimes it's boring. Waking up early when you don't feel like it. Practicing when nobody is clapping. Staying disciplined when distractions come calling. But that's what separates those who talk from those who triumph. Understand this. You don't need to waste your time convincing people who don't believe in you. Let your results be the argument. Let your success be the evidence. Because when you remain consistent, life has no choice but to reward you. And when the results come, the same voices that once doubted you will turn into voices that celebrate you. So stop trying to prove them wrong with noise. Prove them wrong with your consistency. Prove them wrong with your persistence. Prove them wrong with your success. Because at the end of the day, your results will always speak louder than their opinions. Consistency outshines noise. Results don't need a microphone. You see, too many people are busy trying to be seen, trying to be heard, trying to prove to others that they're doing something great. They talk about their goals. They post about their plans. They brag about their intentions. But when it comes to the work, when it comes to the daily grind, there's nothing to show for it. Words are cheap. Noise is everywhere. Anybody can stand up and declare what they're going to do. But very few have the courage, the strength, and the discipline to follow through day after day until the results become undeniable. When you're consistent, you don't need to shout. You don't need to announce yourself. Your work, your progress, your achievements will announce you. The tree doesn't have to scream to prove it's growing. It just quietly digs its roots deeper, stretches its branches wider, and one day people look up and realize it has become mighty. The same goes for you. Stop trying to convince people with your words and start proving yourself with your actions. Results don't require a microphone because they echo louder than any speech, any promise, or any declaration ever could. Think about the greats. The athletes, the entrepreneurs, the inventors, the leaders. They weren't spending their time trying to out-talk the doubters. They were too busy putting in the work. They were too busy being consistent. And when their results showed up, the noise of their critics faded away. That's what happens when you dedicate yourself to the process instead of the performance of talking. People can't argue with results. They may doubt your words, but they can't deny your actions. Consistency, my friends, is about showing up when nobody's clapping. It's about grinding when the crowd is gone. It's about being faithful to your goals in silence so that one day your success makes all the noise for you. So don't waste your energy shouting about what you're going to do. Use that energy to build, to create, to practice, to show up again and again until the world has no choice but to see what you become. Now, quiet discipline builds louder legacies than empty words. Discipline is the foundation of everything lasting. You cannot build a legacy on speeches. You cannot build a legacy on declarations. A legacy is built on the little decisions you make every day when nobody is watching. It's built in the moments when you push yourself to keep going, not because someone is cheering you on, but because you refuse to let yourself down. That's the kind of discipline that outlives opinions, that outlasts critics, that builds a story so powerful it inspires generations. Empty words will always fade. People will forget what you said. They might laugh at what you claimed you would do. But when you've been disciplined enough to stay consistent, your actions become a living testimony. Your life becomes the evidence. That's why you can't chase approval from the crowd. Their cheers don't build your future, your discipline does. Their doubt doesn't destroy your destiny, your discipline protects it. A loud voice without discipline is like thunder with no rain. it makes a lot of noise but produces nothing. But quiet, steady discipline is like a stream carving a canyon. It doesn't happen overnight, but over time it creates something breathtaking. The people who leave legacies aren't the ones who were loudest. They're the ones who stayed true, stayed focused, stayed committed. They let their work do the talking. So if you want to prove the doubters wrong, don't do it with your words. Do it with your discipline. Do it with your consistency. Do it with the quiet grind that nobody sees but everybody eventually feels. Because when your results show up, your legacy will be louder than anything you could have ever said. And in the end, people won't remember the noise. They'll remember the impact. Success is not built on one-time efforts. It is built on repeated commitments. Too often people think greatness is born from one big breakthrough, one magical opportunity, or one extraordinary moment. But the truth is, success is built in the shadows, brick by brick, moment by moment, decision by decision. It is not the one workout that transforms your body. It's the hundreds you do when you don't feel like showing up. It's not the one project that builds a business. It's the thousands of small, consistent actions that eventually create momentum. See, most people want the highlight without the hard work. They want the applause without the persistence. But the foundation of success is commitment, and that commitment has to be renewed daily. You cannot rely on yesterday's discipline to carry you through today, just like you cannot eat one meal and expect it to sustain you for a lifetime. You cannot commit once and think the journey is over. Success requires a repeated yes. Yes when you're tired, yes when you're discouraged. Yes when the results haven't yet shown up. Commitment is not glamorous. It's not flashy. Nobody posts the late nights, the early mornings, the hours of practice, the sacrifices behind the scenes. But those moments are where champions are created. Those repeated commitments are the secret behind every success story you admire. You may see the trophy, but you don't see the tears. You may see the applause, but you don't see the sacrifices. You may see the success, but you don't see the silent struggles that shaped it. And here's the truth. The people who win are not always the most talented, the most gifted, or the most naturally brilliant. The people who win are the ones who make a decision and keep showing up long after the excitement has faded. Commitment is what separates dreamers from doers. Everyone has a dream, but not everyone has the consistency to back it up. It's not the one loud moment of passion that creates success. It's the thousands of quiet commitments stacked on top of each other that build something unshakable. You must make up your mind that you are not going to quit, because the road will get hard. Life will throw setbacks, challenges, and obstacles your way. But the repeated commitments to your vision will carry you through the storms. Every day that you choose to show up is another brick in the foundation of your success. And one day that foundation will be so solid, so unshakable, that nothing and nobody will be able to tear it down. Now, long-term consistency silences the doubters louder than short-term intensity ever could. Anybody can get excited for a day, a week, or even a month. Anybody can put in effort when motivation is high and the spotlight is shining. But consistency is tested in the darkness. It's tested when the motivation runs dry. It's tested when the applause stops, when the crowd walks away, when you're left alone with your dreams and your doubts. That's when consistency becomes your weapon. You see, intensity without consistency is just noise. It might get attention for a moment, but it fades quickly. But consistency compounds. Day after day, week after week, year after year, it builds something so powerful that people cannot ignore it. That's why the doubters eventually go silent. Because while they were busy criticizing, you were busy building. While they were talking, you were working. And over time, your results became too loud to be denied. Think about water dripping on a rock. One drop means nothing. 10 drops mean nothing. But thousands of drops over time carve into solid stone. That's the power of consistency. It doesn't shout, it doesn't announce itself, but it transforms everything in its path. And when people look back, they realize that what once seemed impossible was made possible by the steady, relentless force of staying the course. Don't let the doubters distract you. Don't let the noise make you question yourself. Remember, your consistency is not about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. Every day you stay committed, every time you choose discipline over excuses, you are building a life that will speak for itself. And when the results come, and they will come, the same people who doubted you will have no choice but to respect the journey they once mocked. So, don't be fooled by the glamour of intensity. Don't think one burst of energy will get you where you need to go. It's the slow, steady, A daily grind that creates greatness. It's the relentless decision to keep showing up, to keep moving forward, to keep building even when nobody notices. Long-term consistency doesn't just silence the doubters, it rewrites the narrative. It proves that you don't need to be the loudest in the room to win. You just need to be the one who refuses to quit. The beauty of success is that it doesn't need a microphone. It doesn't need a platform. It doesn't need you to argue, to shout, or to convince anybody. Success is its own testimony. When you stay consistent, when you stay disciplined, when you refuse to let go of your vision, your results will speak so loudly that you won't have to say a single word. People may doubt your potential. They may ridicule your dreams. They may laugh at your beginnings, but you don't have to fight them with words. You fight them with results. Every great person in history faced critics. They were doubted, dismissed, and mocked. But what silenced the noise was not debates or explanations. It was undeniable proof. It was the fruits of their labor, the evidence of their persistence, the results that no critic could argue with. And that's the power of consistency. Eventually, your work will produce results that make the doubters irrelevant. You see, there's something powerful about showing instead of telling. Talk is cheap. Anybody can make promises. Anybody can speak about what they're going to do. But life doesn't reward intentions, it rewards actions. You don't build a legacy by saying you'll do something. You build it by doing it again and again until the proof is too big to ignore. Results are the receipts for your efforts. And once you have the receipts, nobody can deny what you've built. So stop arguing with people who don't believe in you. Stop wasting time trying to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Stop giving energy to critics when that energy should be fueling your growth. You don't need to clap back, you don't need to defend yourself, and you don't need to get approval. Just keep working, keep showing up, keep building, because sooner or later, your results will be too bright for anyone to dim. Think about it, you never see a tree explaining to anyone that it's growing. It just grows, silent, steady, day by day, reaching higher and higher until one day it's undeniable. That's how you must be with your goals. Silent growth, silent progress, silent dedication. And then one day, your success will stand tall and everyone will see what you were building all along. That's when your results will speak for you louder than any opinion ever could. Now, here's the truth, people. Remember consistency more than they remember talent. They remember the person who showed up, the person who stayed, the person who refused to quit. Your consistency builds a reputation that talent alone cannot sustain. Talent might open the door, but consistency keeps you in the room. And when you combine consistency with time, it becomes an unstoppable force. See, success doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time. And in that time, your consistency is planting seeds, seeds of growth, seeds of character, seeds of discipline. And just like a farmer doesn't see crops the day after planting seeds, you might not see results immediately, but keep watering, keep nurturing, keep showing up, and one day the harvest will come. And when it does, the same people who doubted you will be forced to respect you. Consistency creates credibility, and credibility creates influence. When people see that you are reliable, that you don't quit, that you deliver, they begin to trust you, and trust is more powerful than applause. Applause comes and goes, but trust is built brick by brick. That's why consistency matters so much. It builds a foundation that no storm, no critic, no failure can tear down. Your results will also inspire others in ways your words never could. People are watching you even when you don't realize it. They're watching how you handle pressure, how you stay the course, how you keep going despite setbacks. Your consistency is teaching others that it's possible. And when they see your results, it gives them permission to believe in their own. You might not even know it, but your persistence is planting hope in someone else's life. And let me tell you something. Your future self is counting on your consistency today. The person you're becoming, the life you're building, the dreams you're chasing, they all depend on whether you keep showing up when it's hard. Every act of consistency is an investment in your future. And one day, that investment will pay off bigger than you could ever imagine. So don't worry about the opinions. Don't stress about the noise. Don't let the critics slow you down. Focus on your work. Focus on your growth. Focus on your discipline. Because when the results come, and they will, they'll be undeniable. They'll silence the noise. They'll erase the doubts. And they'll prove without a single word that you were right to stay the course. Your job is not to argue. Your job is to build. Your job is not to prove them wrong with words, but to prove yourself right with action. Because when all is said and done, your results will be the loudest voice in the room. And that voice will echo louder, last longer, and carry more weight than any opinion ever could. At the end of the day, proving people wrong is not about shouting louder than your critics. It's about showing up every single day, staying consistent, and building a life that speaks for itself. The world doesn't need your noise, it needs your results. Every person who doubted you, every voice that tried to belittle you, will eventually have to face the truth when your persistence produces fruit they can't deny. Remember, consistency is your superpower. It may not be flashy, it may not grab attention right away, but over time it builds momentum that no opinion can stop. Don't get distracted by their words, focus on your work. Let your actions echo louder than anything they could ever say. And when the glow of your success shines, it will not just silence the doubters, it will inspire countless others who once stood in your shoes. Stay steady, stay focused, and let your results become the loudest voice in the room. That is how you prove them wrong.